So current events have been kind of concerning me lately. I have a lot of thoughts in my head right now and plenty to say, and I don't even know where to begin. I think once enough time has gone by and you get over the initial trauma of a horrible thing that's happened or something that really shocks and appalls you, after you've had a chance to breathe and to remember your wits, things come in a little more clearly. And it's kind of goes without saying that the events of the past couple days have just been absolutely horrific, current events wise. Never mind any of the personal shit that's going on in my life. I'm just saying that, we're all feeling it right now. And I don't know, it's given me a lot to think about, because whenever it comes to partisan politics, I always feel really left out. Not that there are things that I don't morally oppose very vocally, like white supremacy. Hey, I need that light. But I just always kind of feel like I don't belong in the conversation a little bit. Maybe people don't know this about me. I certainly don't talk about it very often, but like I am mostly liberal-minded, but that doesn't mean I am liberal-minded about everything. And it's interesting to me. I've started like reevaluating lately kind of what that even means. I immediately like kind of turn off whenever somebody calls me a liberal. It's really limiting to just boil somebody down to one adjective. I mean, it's kind of arbitrary anyway. Each person has their own distinctive set of any number of values, any of which could be either liberal or conservative or somewhere in the middle. To just say that you can only be one or the other is kind of nonsensical. It doesn't make sense to me at all. So, sometimes I look at people who are like quote unquote conservatives and I'm just like, but you do this and that's kind of liberal. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why we have to like fall where, it's our choice to actually draw the line in the sand. I don't feel like anybody is better than anyone else for their political perspectives. I do, however, feel really frightened, and I morally oppose the idea that everybody should be the same, or that we should take measures to make sure everyone is the same, because that implies so much either isolation or violence, just really, really non-civilized behaviors. If we're thinking of civilized in terms of having to live with everyone else, that is quite the opposite of civilized. So it's very easy for me to say that I oppose white supremacy, but I've never been one of those people to just immediately assume, because I am mostly liberal-minded, that anyone who is quote-unquote conservative is automatically wrong. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm only one person. I realize I'm not perfect. I've only been living on this earth for 28 years, and in that time, I have met so many different, wildly diverse kinds of people. Like a lot of the conservative people I know in my life, a few of which who are my close friends, are atheists. And that's not something that people typically associate with being conservative. I mean, like, I know a lot of Christians who are liberal. I know a lot of Republicans who are gay. Like, in my mind, I feel like it's a very healthy go-to rule that there will always be at least the possibility of an exception to the rule. If you think something is typical, odds are there's one person out there who could prove you wrong. And that's actually something that I really value in life, and why I have this incredibly diverse, broad spectrum of friends, is because, I value the opinions of people who don't think exactly like me. I don't want to live in a fucking bubble. And it's important to me that I don't that I'm not so above it that I think that I'm better than anyone, because we're all human and we're all capable of evil things. You know what I mean? Like, you can question the ideal, you can oppose the idea without having to oppose the person, can't you? I feel like a lot of the time we get so fixated on the idea that people are actual literal monsters, and we forget that, you know, it's really wrong to just assume somebody's motives, because everybody is just, you know, the collective accumulation of all of their very, very different experiences. Not everybody is the same. We're all capable of the same kind of things and the same potential, but I honestly don't feel that that makes us all exactly the same. So, you know, when someone tells me that they're, you know, conservative, I have to, you know, think to myself, like, well, what kind of person are you really? Like, if you got into a fight, what would you do? If you got into an argument, how would you handle that situation? If somebody was on the ground in front of you and they were starving, how would you handle that situation? I don't think that it takes a liberal-minded or a conservative-minded person to act one way or the other on any of those things. You kind of just have to take people as they come. So yeah, that's kind of a lot of what I've been thinking right now. And, you know, I would bet any amount of money that a lot of the people who are forming up the numbers of what we consider the alt-right are just sort of, they've just immediately fallen into this group because they share one thing in common. And I don't know about you, but I've definitely been in the situation where I gained a bunch of friends who I thought we all had the same things in common, but, you know, we were only united under one of those things, and I eventually came to find out that, oh, I don't agree with these people on this issue, or I feel very isolated from this group because I'm this. And, you know, we formulate our communities and the people who we truly care about based on, you know, long-term personal experiences that revolve around mutual respect. And if we can't, at the very least, respect each other enough to have a discussion without making it personal, I'm sorry, but that's not how you change anything. And I don't think that being humble is the same thing as being passive or being submissive. Like, you're allowed to set your boundaries. You're allowed to tolerate certain types of behavior or not tolerate certain types of behavior. So it really comes down to your personal values. And I don't want to live in a world where everybody's the same. You know what I mean? Like, the incredible diversity of the earth and the human condition is so colorful and so beautiful, and it makes me sad, the idea that people just want it a certain way, and I don't know that I'll ever be better than anyone else or anything like that. I want to be able to share myself with other people, and I want them to have the courage and the confidence to share themselves with me. So those are kind of my thoughts. And I don't care if it's naive. Frankly, at this point, I'll take anything. I don't really like it when people are like, everything's going to shit, you know. You don't know that. I don't like people that are just overwhelmingly optimistic either. You can't tell me one way or the other that you think, that you know that, you know, the world's going to end or whatever. Like, I think it's only within our own power to shape the world around us, and you know, that's kind of one of the things that I pray for the people in the cities where these conflicts are going on. You know, Charlottesville today, Pittsburgh tomorrow, when I heard that there's supposed to be another march there to the nationwide march on Google. And you know, I could have so much more to say about any of these topics that are going on current events wise, but the truth of the matter is that I would really just rather have individual discussions with people and hopefully give people the peace of mind to actually feel like they could be heard. I mean, even if you think differently than me, I'll listen to you, you know what I mean? And I just wonder if everybody could just shut up and do that. Can things get better that way? I want to believe that they can. Well, yeah. Anyway, so, that's what I've had to say for this video. See you next time.